Yeah, hit the likes and subs. Oh, yeah, they're in full coat mode right now. That's right. That's right.
All the vows and guarantees, all the noble promises to God we left unaccomplished. May God help us to endure the hardships of life with fortitude and sufferance. Amen.
Ooh-wee. Wow. Great to be here. Good to see everyone. What a great crowd we got today. Feeling blessed. Look at that. Rich 33333. Another Richard, dude. God did bless me today. We got two Richards in the chat. Richard Murdoch 600. Sister T2242, and of course Daninsky. Wow. Great to see you all this morning. And a big
Thank you.
thank you for being here. Well, it's been about a week since my last stream, and I gotta be honest. I don't know. I can't even really remember what I talked about, but I gotta admit I was wrong. Uh, the war in Iran did start in February. Holy shit! I said March, came February 28th, I think. So I was wrong, dude. I don't know what to tell everybody, dude. I thought for sure they'd wait till March. So I don't know. I'm not psychic. Not even that good at. I just realized I put my pants on backwards, so I gotta fix that later. That's freaking embarrassing. uh, can't put my hands in my pockets now. Oh well, dude. So yeah, I get some things wrong every now and then. That's all right. That's all right. But dude, I don't know about you guys, but I'm feeling pretty good about another Jewish banker war. A lot of people are like anti-war. They're against this war. Not me, dude. I want boots on the ground tomorrow. Okay, I want a draft. In fact, I'm ready for the draft. I'm ready for Congress to, open the floodgates. I'm just, you know what I mean? I'm ready, baby. Let's get this thing going. I've been kind of excited for war for a long time. A lot of people don't like war. They're anti-war. They're too good for war. But I think war is good for the economy. I think it's great. I think it's a fantastic way to kind of strengthen the hearts and souls of the American population, dude. I think we need to get a lot of these Gen Z people in here. And Gen Alpha, they've really never had a forever war. They didn't grow up. How much did Gen Z grow up with a war, dude? I don't know, man. I think shoot, I don't know. When did we get out of Afghanistan during Biden's term? So I guess they had a little taste of it. But we need a new war. We need a new forever war. We need to make the economy better and stronger. Um, and if we're gonna have all these illegal immigrants in our country, and we're not gonna kick them out, I say we bring them into the fold, dude. This is a great time to make a deal with the Democrats. We'll say to them, look, hey, all the illegals could stay, but they need to join the military. And we could have, in Civil War, we had the Buffalo Soldiers. We could have our own South American regiments that speak solely Spanish. Okay, you know what I mean. And we could send them into the front lines of Iran, and they can, that's the fastest way to earn American citizenship. I think it's a win-win for everybody. This new war. A lot of people are against it. A lot of people are upset about it, but I think it's an opportunity for America in a lot of ways, dude. Looking forward to it. I see the news every day, and honestly, this war's kind of boring. Everybody, I didn't realize this, but they turned off the internet in Iran, so we're not seeing a lot of video clips, which is boring. I feel like I saw more from Venezuela in one day than I have from Iran in almost a week. So I think that aspect of this war sucks. It's really, sometimes they give you these little grainy, blurry potato photos of like a missile strike. It's just like, that shit sucks, dude. But apparently, like, we've killed 50 of their people. No evidence. Haven't seen anything of it. Oceania has always been at war with Eurasia. Big brother. That's right. We're always at war. We need to stay at war. It's good for the economy. It's good for the heart and minds of Americans. Constant fear. And we got news that North Korea might nuke Israel. I think that came out last night. And I mean, another golden opportunity. You know what I mean? I think we've taken out all the last countries, basically, that don't have Rothschild banking. We took care of Venezuela, took care of Libya, taking care of Iran right now, and North Korea just chirped up and said they're going to nuke Israel. Well, perfect opportunity to clear the board, bring the whole country into the Rothschild banking system. It's a win-win. You know what I mean? They're not going to get a nuke to Israel, so if they say they're going to nuke our greatest ally, they need to go down too. You know, no threats to Israel. We can't even tolerate that. It's unfathomable if anyone threatens our greatest ally, our best friend, dude. Israel, our greatest ally and our best friend on the global stage. Can't have a better friend than Israel, dude. Israel's what a great friend. Israel's the drunk friend who's at the bar who's always picking fights, and they know they can pick a fight with somebody because you're the big strong best friend who does MMA or some bullshit like that. So they always get you in trouble. But they pay your tab. That's why you go to the bar with them, because they're always paying your tab. But in reality, you're paying their tab because they stole your wallet. Bastards. They're thieves. What's up, slow boy whiteboard? Nook, Gwe, test away. I don't even know what that means. Can you learn another language, slow boy whiteboard? What the hell does that mean? What's a tier mean? So that's the news, dude. I probably won't do a stream this weekend. I just apologize not for I didn't do one last week. But I got a roster of reaction content. Most of it's old by now, but I'm telling you, I got at least 13 things to review with you guys. So I'm excited to get to the point to where I can slow down the monologue and just say, look at this. Look at this. There's a lot of stuff about Utah. A lot of stuff about Utah. Holy shit. I don't know if you know who Mike Cernovich is. I really don't know much about Mike Cernovich, but he spent a good portion of last week bitching about Utah and how shitty Utah is and all the problems with Utah. I was like, wow, dude. Wow, dude, that's crazy. Elon Musk went on I don't know how long. Why am I telling you this, dude? I'm not even going to be able to do my reaction content if I just briefly overview it with you. But all I'm going to say is I was right and ahead on so many things, not by much. I almost want to show you how right I am about a lot of the things I've talked about. But I was like, damn, dude, Elon Musk, you're talking about this, dude? I did a podcast about this. Podcast, what a lame thing to say. But I did one about this exact topic maybe months ago, dude. You're talking about it now? You're way behind. My thinking's so far advanced. That happens sometimes for me. I always feel good about it later. And I'll share that feeling with you on my next stream. I should do it now, but I'm going to see how long I can monologue for. Well, my life's been good, dude. Not much has been going on. Not much. Provo isn't hooked on phonics. Oh. Nook test away. Nuke gay test away. Nuke test away. Nuke test away. I can't read that shit. Write English. Yo, what about Jim Carrey? Get to the real stuff. Good point, Jim Carrey, dude. I think that guy was that performance artist. The guy dressed up. If that is the real Jim Carrey, man, I mean, it wouldn't really surprise me if that was people don't know what I'm talking about. Jim Carrey went to an awards performance and he looked awful. He looked terrible. He looked like a real housewife of Beverly Hills or Orange County. Botox, his face lifted. I just feel bad for the guy if it really is him, but I think it might have been somebody else. Could have been a clone. People are like, it's a clone. I think it's probably just some guy in a face mask. So I think in the end, it's probably guerrilla marketing. It's probably like advertising for a movie he's going to come out in the future with. And people are going to look back and like, oh, wow. That was like a advertisement for a movie and we didn't know, but we spent weeks talking about it. Elon's beam ghost watching your streams. Elon's been ghost watching your streams. He has been. More Jew distractions, tons of Jew distractions. We live in like Jew Disneyland. Mainstream is always behind and wrong. Therefore, if they say it later than you, it's both validated but also moved on from Schrodinger's validation. Dang, dude. I learned something new today. Thank you, Dustin. But I agree with you. Well, you guys are amazing today, dude. Severely over-medicated at best, or imposter. Oof. You could be both. An imposter who is severely over-medicated. He had plastic surgery. Poor Jim Carrey. He probably had to change the way he looked. He hated how he looked when he looked in the mirror. He's like, oh, no. I don't like who I am because I was in the Illuminati. I did horrible things. Dang that Jim Carrey. I saw Jim Carrey was relevant. I saw somebody who was like, Jim Carrey's a Nephilim Antichrist. Like, the conspiracies never stop. You know, you open the rabbit hole and you can fall pretty deep into the warren. If you don't know what a warren is, it's a rabbit home. You get lost in there, man. You get lost. What else has happened this week, dude? What else? I don't know. Just Iran, which is kind of interesting. The Iran debacle just swept away all the concerns about ICE. Like, nobody's talking about ICE anymore. It's fascinating. Haven't seen any ICE videos. ICE seems irrelevant. Haven't heard about any ICE protests. Irrelevant. Which is usually, you know, I think maybe that's a good thing. But I'm still waiting on more deportation news. The wave of deportations hasn't hit yet. Hasn't hit at all. Wondering, like, we were played, dog. Keep seeing these highlights of Obama had high deportation numbers. I'm like, what the fuck? Did he really, though? He brought in Somalians. He had probably high importation numbers, too. Some of the highest. Jim Carrey is going through his Mickey Rourke phase. He could be. In 1996, they cloned a sheep, Dolly. Dang. I wonder if it... Did it live, though? Did the sheep live? You know how many times I've tried to call ICE and they made me sit online for 30 minutes? Is that true? That's crazy if you really call ICE, but thank you for your service to America. Thank you to your service. God bless you. God bless you for your service. The American heroes, the unsung ones. But, you know, what else? What else, dude? I don't know. I really didn't, you know, intellectual obesity. That was the title of the stream. I feel like that's really where a lot of Americans are at. You know, I went to a Chili's, which is, you know, I don't like Chili's too much, to be honest, dude. It's like an Applebee's. You know, these Any Place America places where, you know, your food's getting microwaved and it's from Cisco and the big food hauling trucks. It's the same food everywhere, you know, whatever. And you know, I was people watching, and that's like the one reason you go to Chili's is just to look at the people. And golly, dude, America has some unique looking folks. And servers are, you know, waiters, servers, shrimp slingers, burger deliverers. You know, that whole demographic of people is just unique, especially at Chili's. And, you know, I had my hair up. Is my hair up now? No. But I had my hair in a bun. People call it a man bun. Whatever, dude. Just didn't want it in my face that day. And I'm looking around, and there were 4 or 5 servers there with man buns. I'm like, holy shit, dude, this is awful. Is this what I look like to other people? Is this how I look like to other people? And all these servers had like tattoos, and they were just interesting looking folk. These servers, waiters and waitresses, and there were a couple. There were quite, looking around at these people, there were quite a few obese Americans. Obese Americans. Big people. Big people. I was like, holy shit, dude. People talk about, America's weight problem. And, if you go to a Chili's, you see it firsthand, dude. I was looking around, I was like, God damn. One lady was severely obese, and she was with her boyfriend in a booth. And I was just like, I was gobstruck. I was floored. I'm like, America really does have a weight problem. And I'm over sitting in my little booth being judgmental as hell. I know. Shouldn't do that. But I couldn't help it, dude. I couldn't help but look at all these people like, what fucking zoo am I at? And I got to thinking, like, I was looking at the servers who, they weren't obese, but they all look liberal. It's like, these people aren't fat, but I could tell they're probably intellectually obese, They got probably slow thinking. The real obese, everybody's kind of just, I think in America, dude, we got two problems. We got weight problems, and then we got like brain problems. We got obese thinking. We got fat thinking. We got lazy thinking. We just got too much, like the fast food of content. Everyone's just engorged on TikToks, on Instagram Reels, on, just entertainment slop, the worst of it, and it's made us slow, dumb, and it's taken away our critical thinking, our real skills at life. It's really fucked us up. All this high rate of speed information, too much. Shortened our attention spans, made us really slow. It's interesting. Fast content creates slow thinking. Fast content, slow thinking. What do you guys say? Boo! What are you booing at? You can boo. Thanks for the boos. I appreciate it. And the tomatoes. Last time I went to Chili's, I sharted in my pants on the way home. Never again. That's disgusting. But, you can't see people's intellectual obesity for the most part. You can't see. But there are telltale signs. Telltale signs of intellectual obesity. Nose ring, dyed hair, lots of tattoos that look like chicken scratch. I'm sure they have meaning, but to you, absolutely no fucking meaning. Which, I know it's like, it's in vogue to shit on tattoos, and it sucks because I have quite a few tattoos. But when I look at all these other people with tattoos, I'm like, that shit looks retarded. It's all the things people told me when I was young. I love my tattoos, but in general, I'm like, dude, tattoos are a bad idea when I think about it. In general, some of these people, they just never stopped. I eventually stopped. I was like, that's enough. That's good for me. But you could just like, they're warning signs, of people's thinking. There's lots of warning signs. And you meet these people. I don't know. I'd like to have more conversations with people, to be honest, in real life, not online, in real life, to see how people are, how the world's doing. But truth be told, dude, I don't want anyone to come up to me and have a conversation. I don't want to go up to anybody else, but I think it'd be enjoyable because I really don't know what people are thinking. The internet's its own little bubble. You think like what you see on the internet is how everybody else is thinking, but I tend to believe that's not true. I think the internet is more of a mirage, a presentation provided to you to make you believe that this is what people are thinking, this is what the world believes, this is how Americans act and behave. But in reality, it's different than that, you know? I think most people don't post online. Most people don't share their thoughts. It's a small minority of people. But boy, did I see real obesity and what I perceived to be intellectual obesity at the Chili's, dude. And one person was there who was obese and I could tell had intellectual obesity. They had a mask on, and now this Chili's was packed, dude. Every booth, every table was full, which caught me by surprise. I did not expect that when I went into the Chili's. And somebody, like, kind of directly across from where I was sitting, they were with their family, and every one of them had a weight problem, which is whatever. But they had this one person in particular was eating their food, and they had a mask hanging by their ear, just hanging, dangling by their ear, and they were just stuffing their face with the chips, with the queso dip, and then their food came. And I'm looking at them. I'm like, what did they order? I like listening. Rack of ribs, sirloin steak. I remember the order for the most part. Rack of ribs, sirloin steak, triple dipper, and a rack of ribs to go, sir. I'm like, why did the guy in the mask get it to go? What a weird thing to do. You're with your family, and you're like, I'll get it to go, please. But he got, like, I guess convenience, so he could eat what he wanted and just get the box to go. But it was just strange. I wasn't like, glaring at him, but I was just kind of interested in someone who still wears a mask into a restaurant and then lets the mask hang by their ear while they eat. And, there's just the weird people. Like, this person obviously looked unhealthy, struggled with weight, had a puffy face. And, I don't know what illness afflicted them. If there was a real illness, they definitely had mental illness, because, this presentation of caring about your health when you wear a mask, like, it's just bizarre to me. You know what I mean? And when you're in Utah, it's supposed to be a conservative state. I rarely see anybody with a mask, especially in a restaurant. But just like a weird thing to do. You walk into a crowded restaurant with a mask on, then you sit down to eat your microwave food, and you let your mask hang by your ear while you just stuff your face with chips. It's like a virtue signal. It's just strange, But I could see their mental illness. I could see their intellectual obesity. It's right there to be seen. Like, what a weird character, Why do people do that? But I'm not saying I wouldn't go to Chili's again. I'll definitely go just for the people. I'll definitely go just for the people. I loved it. What are you doing here, Joe Cool? Freaking crazy to see you here. God bless you, sir. I'm telling you, you have to get Chili's to go to be right next to the toilet. That's wild. Southwestern egg rolls and ancho salmon, damn delicious. Well, we got some Chili's fans in here, buddy boo. You're not gonna change some of these people's opinions. So glad I didn't get the tattoo my friend offered to buy for me right after high school. I'd have a gay Mars Volta symbol on me somewhere. Oof. But you and your friend would have matching tattoos, I assume, which is friendship forever. 10 years ago, face tattoos were a good investment if you wanted to be a crappy SoundCloud rapper. And if you didn't want a steady and stable job. That's what the tattoos are for. Tattoos are like, if you get a tattoo that's pretty much always visible, it's resigning yourself from the workforce. It's just saying, I don't want to work anymore. Which, I understand that feeling. Work sucks for a lot of people, dude. It's difficult, but work can be enjoyable. Work can be enjoyable if you love what you do. So yeah, I had a good time at Chili's, dude. I always think like, dude, should I be looking around and judging all these people? And I say, why the hell not, dude? I'm not hurting anybody's feelings. I'm just taking in data. I'm observing. But damn, dude, when I was there, I was like, I want to go to the mall. I want to really soak in the experience. I want to see the mall is like a zoo for human people. And I haven't been to the mall in a while. I might go soon now that I think about it. It's a great place just to watch, just to see how your community's doing. And nothing to buy there. Nothing really ever to buy at the mall. Nothing to buy, dude. I've been working on the word no, and letting go of wants and needs. I was at a farm recently. It wasn't a real farm, but it was kind of like a farm. They got cows, chickens, goats, pigs, and pigs. Oh, dude, I might have to stop eating pork because the pigs smell and look like shit. And at this farm, the pigs were eating. And, it's amazing. Like this farm, when I saw the pigs eating, I'm like, I used to tell people about this on my show. Like they feed animals trash. You could see all the food the pigs couldn't reach or get. And it was like cupcake hostesses, Twinkies, just junk food. Just junk food. And it smelled awful next to the pigs. I was like, I'm not going to eat bacon anymore. Just go to the cows looked happy. The cows looked fine. I'm like, I'll still have a hamburger, but no bacon this time. I was disgusted by the pigs. And it makes sense when people say, you look like a pig, or you smell like a pig, or like the phrase makes total sense now. Because pigs are disgusting animals. I think in the wild they're less disgusting though, because I don't know. Maybe they're more violent. That's for sure. Pigs in the wild are frightening creatures, but in captivity, oh no, man. So that was a wake up call for me. So I'm taking a sabbatical from eating pork. Didn't feel good looking at them. They looked like they were happy pigs, but I didn't like the smell, didn't like the way they looked. They lived in a pigsty, and it didn't look good, man. And I seeing what they fed them, I was like, this is frightening. This is truly frightening. But it was fun to go to the farm. It's fun to see all these animals hang out there for a minute. You don't get the opportunity to go to a farm too often. But I enjoyed being there. I enjoyed it. I took my kids there, and it's strange seeing the demographic of people that take their kids out. And, for me, mostly, I take my kids out. I'm what they call a SAM, a stay-at-home father. I like to call it retired, and I don't stay at home. I'm an out-and-about guy. I like going out and about. But you see all these other people, they're all usually just moms. And for people say like the trad life is alive and well in Utah, I'll tell you that much. And there are a lot of stay-at-home mothers who also go out and about. But some people's kids, I'm always shocked by just the things I see. Some people's kids' behaviors and the way some people are. Just peculiar, dude. Humanity's so peculiar. That's why it's important to get out, not spend your whole life online. See what people are like. I was at the bookstore, and they have a toy section there, gay and noble. I would call it Barnes and Noble, but everything's gay there now. And there was a kid there, probably about 2 years old, and my kids were just wandering around. One of them was looking at the toys. And there's this kid, dude, who was like a hockey goalie. He was blocking my kid from every toy. My kid would walk up to something. This 2-year-old would just cut him off like, hey, don't even fucking think about touching that shit. Just give my kid a death stare. It's like, wow, this child is possessive of things that aren't even theirs. And my kid was confused. Just looked at the other child, looked at me, and I didn't intervene. I It was like, figure it out, dude. This kid's a goalie. He doesn't want you to touch anything. But just peculiar behavior. I was like, what creates that? What creates that? Possessiveness over things that aren't yours. You know, just being at a toy store, like blocking other kids from touching all the toys. Interesting kid. Like, well, whatever, dude. Do your own thing. People are strange. But I've been out and about, dude. I've been trying to get out. Trying to get out and about. Trying to do more things. Be outside. The weather's been all right. The weather's been okay. I see some strange things every now and then, dude. People trying to lose weight. You know, I talked about obesity. I saw this guy. He was walking his dog. He was wearing a weighted vest. And I'm happy for these people. They're trying to make good life decisions. I was like, what is that really? Is a weighted vest really the secret to losing weight? It seems like a punishment. It seems like a punishment to walk around your neighborhood with a weighted vest on, you know. Peculiar behavior. Walking around. Look like you got a tactical vest on with a bunch of C4 strapped to you. Weird, strange. But I guess it's good to exercise. I was happy for the person, but it's like I wouldn't wear a weighted vest. I'd wear some ankle weights if I really wanted to get in the workout. Peculiar pelicans. Yeah. What's up, Mella? I heard when you let a pig go into the wild, it quickly turns back into a boar. I've heard that too. They go back to their natural state. I wonder what, if that happened to humans, what would humans do if they went back into the wild? You know, what would we do? What would happen to us? We all just reverted to the Stone Age. No technology. We're all just... I wonder if people would... all the movies suggest that we'd turn into savages, cannibals, terrible people, pillaging, killing, terrible things. I think in the future, dude, I can't wait till cataclysm happens and there's just some of these things that are left behind, like a mall. Imagine discovering an abandoned mall that was not, not stores all empty, but stores filled. And you're an archaeologist and you get to go through this whole mall. That would be so sick. That'd be the most exciting thing in the world. You're digging. Imagine like a mud flood came and took over a mall and you find all these dead shoppers inside who died of whatever cause, but the mall's perfectly preserved. That'd be so fun. An abandoned mall, it's like a treasure trove of archaeology, a trapped time period. Man, people in the future are going to have a great time after the next great flood, discovering all the plastic and all the trash and all the shit we left behind. That's one of the only reasons I want to be reincarnated, so I could dig up an old mall. Chilling at a hot topic, yeah. I'd like to. I haven't been into a hot topic in a while, but I have seen some hot topic people. I have seen some goths of late. I saw some people with some. It's just peculiar. The goth, the wearing all black, the weird looking hair. Being young is kind of a weird thing, trying to fit in. You try to find your in group. Where do I belong? Where do I belong? Ooh, I don't know where you belong. In a zoo. I had a buddy that stayed at a house where they ate their own pigs. Said the bacon had hair on it. That's flavor right there. Ooh. Moldy apples cementing my position on withholding from pork. I think of Hannibal when I think of pigs eating. Ooh. Jeez. Yeah, pigs are very destructive. Yes, Marilyn. That is a fact. I gave up soda and ice cream for Lent. That's a good thing to give up, Shittle. Soda and ice cream, but I actually heard ice cream is pretty healthy for you. Ice cream made the rounds on the internet, and apparently it's actually not too bad. And ice cream is good for you if you have diabetes. It's not health information, but that's just what I saw. Like, wow, what kind of propaganda is this? Big Ice Cream releasing studies about how it's good for you, especially if you have diabetes. What research was that? Amazing research. That's the research, if anybody's doing honest research, it's got to be that. I had one of those sharper image robots. Ooh, sharper image. Quality. Quality. Peculiar pedestrians pandering privately. That's a nice tautogram. Remember sharper image? I remember. Where we at? 40 minutes. But, people are strange. We all know that. But life's fun. You got to get out and enjoy it. People on the internet are even, it's a whole different demographic of people than people out in public. I like people out and about. It's fun, man. It's fun to go outside. The weather's getting better. I encourage everybody to go outside more often. I used to go, and I still do sometimes. I just would go to stores. I wouldn't even buy anything. I just would like walking around. Like Walmart used to be like a park for me. Target. I wouldn't buy it. I just wanted to walk around. I like looking at things. I like the smell of cheap plastic and polyester and cotton clothes. I enjoy that smell. It's a strange thing to enjoy, but damn it, I do enjoy it, dude. I enjoy the smell of department stores, grocery stores, whatever they smell like. I love it, dude. I don't know why, but it's nostalgic. It's comforting. It's like a warm blanket on a cold, snowy night, dude. When you walk into a Target and you take a nice deep breath and you could smell the mixture of chemicals from the plastic, some of the from the clothes. Maybe you get a hint of their fresh produce if they have a fresh produce section. Then you walk around and they have just an infinite amount of things that you don't need or want. Most of it's poison. Most of it'll kill you. But it's pleasant. It's pleasant to walk around. It's like exercise, but funner because you get to look at things. I don't know. If I have a favorite store, people boycott everything. Don't go to Target. Don't go to, what else do they say? Whatever stores they're boycotting, but I can't boycott anything, man. I have too much of a good time when I go to any establishment. It's exhilarating. And Barnes & Noble has the best smell. Doesn't matter how many gay books they put on their shelves, dude. That smell of a Barnes & Noble will pull me in so quick. It's amazing, dude. The smell of a bookstore is unbeatable. One of the best smells God has ever made. God has made a lot of good smells, which, it's made me grateful, dude. I feel like I've heard some people have lost their smell forever from COVID. That's a punishment. That's a severe punishment to lose your smell. Perpetual loss, infinite loss of one of life's greatest enjoyment, the ability to smell. Barnes & Noble. What other places have good smells, dude? Some places don't have good smells. You walk through a Home Depot in their chemical castration aisle where they got all their weed killing stuff and their animal rat killing stuff, dude. And you walk within 5 feet of that section and you shorten your lifespan by at least 15, 20 minutes. You don't know how long you shortened it, but you definitely shortened it walking into some parts of Home Depot. And then you got to go through the indoor plant section just to clear out your, what's it called? Olfactory? Is it olfactory senses? I don't know the proper word. But, that's that. What other places have good smells? What place? What's your guys' favorite place to smell? Bath and Body Works, maybe? Yeah, Lush. You don't even have to walk in the Bath and Bodies. You just walk by it. Ooh. That Bath and Bodies to me smells like Christmas. Doesn't matter what season it is or what products they have displayed. Bath and Body always smells like Christmas to me because that's what I used to get my mom and my grandmas for Christmas. I'm like, I don't know what to get them. Get them a Bath and Body thing. Get them Bath and Body. That's the only time I'd ever go in there. What an interesting store. Bath and Body. And I come to find out later, dude, all that stuff's toxic. All those neurodisruptors and toxic chemicals they put in the lotion. Can't they make anything that's just not going to kill you slowly? You guys have any favorite smells? I find the smell of chlorine in public swimming pools strangely comforting. You know what? I do too. I actually like that smell. It takes me back. I like the smell. I love the smell of cigarettes. A lot of people don't, but when I smell cigarettes, it takes me to my childhood. I loved Las Vegas. I love the smell of cigarettes. You know, just kind of not like the immediate smell of it, you know, when someone's smoking in front of you, but just kind of like the passing smell. And I don't smell cigarettes too often anymore, which is kind of crazy. Not a lot of people smoke cigs. But I think in 20, 30 years, dude, we're all going to miss the smell of cigarettes. People say it smells nasty, but maybe it does to them. But to me, it smells like Excalibur, the Luxor. If you guys remember Vegas in the past, I used to stay at the Stardust. Old casino. Gone now, been gone for a while. But I loved that place. And I miss the cocktail girls. Cocktail. When I was a kid, the cocktail waitresses would carry around cigarettes, too. I miss playing Keno in the restaurant with my parents, finding the numbers, you know. That's how I learned how to count, really, was playing Keno. Filling in my own Keno sheet. I don't think I ever won. As much as I played, I don't think I ever won, which is crazy. Love the game. Good tobacco is a lovely smell. It is. I'm glad you're with me on that, Richard Sunrocks. A fine Cuban cigar. Ooh. I haven't had an opportunity to smell too many cigars, to be honest. Hello, is it me? I always try to avoid women that work at Home Depot when I need help. Yeah, they never know where anything is. But sometimes I feel like a woman when I go in there and I'm trying to describe what I need. I needed an air intake vent. But I didn't know what it was called. I'm like, do you have like a grill, an air grill, to where the air goes into the vent thing? Like, I don't know what you mean. Maybe, and then they looked on their phone, like an air intake grill? I'm like, yeah, that one. Aisle 13. I'm like, I don't know. I'm not an expert, but I don't know. Smells, dude. I like smells. I like life, dude. Life has so many little things we take for granted. But the pool, you're right. The chlorine pool. I mean, the chlorine of a pool, just amazing. I like the smell of a hotel. Oddly enough, hotels have distinct smells. I enjoy that. It's very nostalgic for me. Very nostalgic. What other smells do I enjoy? Shoot, dude. I'll think of some later. But Walmart's up there. I love the smell of a Walmart. Cheap plastic. It's weird how I like that smell. You just walk in, you smell all the cheap plastic. You're like, this is nice. This is wonderful. Better wrap this show up. Sorry it's not so exciting. Should have some more reaction content to do. But, you know what? One smell I do like is an LDS church. I don't know how they do it, but every LDS church smells the exact same. It's crazy science. I feel like they got that Disneyland. In Disneyland, they spray this stuff in the air. I don't know what it's called, but in Disneyland, they're always spraying perfume, or it's not really perfume. It's kind of like a perfume in the air. Excuse me. And it's supposed to create a sense of nostalgia. And if you've never been into a Latter-day Saint church, I encourage you to go just for the smell. You don't have to go for conversion, but just so you have that in your directory of smells, because it's a unique smell, and I enjoy it greatly. You know, school lunchrooms have a smell too. Thinking of smells from the past. a school lunchroom, very distinct smell, very unique. Very unique, very distinct. Schools have a smell too. But the smell of a church is, I've been in, I like, it's weird. I went to the Catholic church, I went to the Orthodox parish, whatever you want to call it. And they didn't really, incense were kind of the one thing I noticed at the Orthodox church. It's pleasant. Catholic church didn't have like a really banger of a smell, to be honest. The Catholic church was kind of neutral. Nothing really hit me when I went into the Catholic church. It didn't hit my senses. I wasn't like, wow, what is this? But you walk into an Orthodox or a Latter-day Saint, they got their smells. Distinct smells. And which is a shame, dude, because if I ran a Catholic church or if I even ran a Protestant church, my church would definitely need a smell. You need it, just like I'd have scientists get behind a lab desk and develop a smell for the church. I think the LDS church did that for sure. He-Man, She-Ra, good to see you. I assume it changes throughout cycle. Maybe. I notice our incense at church smells a lot more soapy lately. Interesting. A soapy incense. Wonder what kind it is. I noticed I read that. I love the smell of orange blossoms driving down a country road, Florida. Lucky. I don't even know what that's like. My life's incomplete. The hotel smell is the fresh bedding and linen. That is what it is. I love it. Well, I'm gonna have to go. I gotta get to life. But God bless you all. Thank you so much for spending some time with me. Greatly appreciate it. Might do a show this weekend. Go through all my old reaction content that I've saved up for 3 weeks. But I've said that for the past 2 weeks, and I haven't done it. So probably you'll probably see me Monday or Tuesday morning. I think I've given up on, I don't know, maybe I'll do a show Saturday. We'll see. But God bless you all. Thank you so much for spending some time with me. Have a great Thursday.